Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. I finished the pattern I was working on. As you can see, I didn't have time earlier to record while I worked. And so I just sort of completed it. Maybe I'll show you later on, or you could just try it out for yourselves and see how it goes. So for the ends, I did have to go back and cut some strands of yarn and then crochet into the original design. So you do get these ends, but you don't get these tips. And so I had to go back and redo that. And so yeah, it was pretty interesting. I'm not really sure if it's gonna be good for the amount of yarn that we have here, or if if it's gonna like I don't know how it's gonna be once you have all 6 completed and you have the original sort of shape. And so this is kind of what we're going for, or I'm going for. And so I'm sure that if I were to starch it and set it, it would look kind of like this. But so far, this is where we're at. I did think about like trying it in black, and then I also have like red, and I have this other black yarn from that's like a little bit thinner, or it could be the same, but it is sort of blacker. And I was like, what if I get it, I do them in like this kind of black, but then I also have a lot of Daiso colors. So these are just 2 of the samples that I have. So I don't know if I want to keep just doing one color, or I could do like a whole series of colors. I always have that problem where I'm like, I'm gonna try to do like a whole series of colors, and so it's like different colors, but I kind of always move on and I don't really go back to them. So I wanted to take the time and show the beginning so that you guys can watch kind of how I started, because that wasn't any of the videos that I did. And so I wanted to show you kind of like the magic circle method that I used, rather than having the chain of 18 on the original pattern and the chain of 8. I did keep the chain of 8, but I didn't do the chain of 18, which is kind of where I had on the first pattern, where I was like, well, I don't really like how it went. So I think I'm gonna show you that. I'm probably, all right, let's see. I was gonna stop the video, but I think I'll just go through it. I don't want to make the videos too long, because sometimes you lose sort of the attention span. I'm just gonna have to like pass it through. Right. Okay, so for the first one, we do a magic circle. I think that's about it. It's like a finger width, an index finger, or you could do a little pinky. I think a little pinky, but I mean, for the first one, you can always like change it so it's not that much, and then maybe like a finger width of space, because I kind of did a lot longer, longer space, and I was like having to move everything. So I'm always like, okay, all right, so that's one. and then it's two of these stitches. That's 2, and then it's like, I think it's called a half or a single crochet, where you do the 2 and then the 2, and then you do 2 of those, so it's 2 and then 2, and then you do 2 of the three the little stick ones. I gotta learn the terminology, but I'm like, I don't know how to call it. And then you do a chain of 1, and then you do another stick chain, and then you do this stick chain, and then you go to the you do so it's like 2 2 2 chain of 1, and then 2 2 2. So that was 1 and 2, and then you do the single stitch or single crochet, and you do 2 of those. All right, and then you do a chain of 8, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then you kind of want to open up this crochet. It doesn't need to be that big, but, and then you kind of want it to go this way, so it always gets I have some difficulty getting it in place, so I'll just do my best. That's 1, and that's 2, and then that's the half one, or the single crochet. I don't know what I call them. I just sort of call them by the number of times the needle goes through the loop. So that's 1 loop, and then that's 2 loops, and then now it's the that was the second one, so it's the stick one. And then a chain of 1, and then 2 sticks, and then I guess it could be called a half stick, because it's like half the other stick, and then the two X stitches, because they usually, like, that's how I kind of interpret these, as being like X in the pattern. There's like an X in the pattern. I call that the X stitch. I could be wrong, but that's just me. Oops, I made an oopsie. I think I'll just go with it. I forgot to like attach it to this one, and so I'll try to do it on the next one. If not, I'll just have to go back and redo it. 3 4 5 6 7 8. Sometimes I think my hands go out of the camera, because I'm like at the edge of the table, and it's like a round table, and so if I do that, just bear with me. I'll go back to, all right, I think that's that. I don't like how this came out. I think that's that. We got looped. So that's one. So two. Darn it. Okay, let's see. We're going this way. So half a decimal, and then one, and then two, a half stitch, half stick, and then two, and then the one stick, three, and then four. All right, and before I forget, this one's gonna go, it's gonna have to go in between here, a chain of one, and then this one's gonna go in here for that chain of one. And I hope that comes out great. If not, where am I going? Okay, right here. So I sort of did it. Now I just have to hope they come out good. Alright, so that's one stick. And then second stick. And then half a stick, one. And then the second half a stick, two. And then we do the 1x and then the second x. And then did I, like on my first attempt at making this pattern, I joined these two and I never gave it the chain of 8. So it was kind of, when I got to the second or the third line, I was like, wait, something's wrong. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I had to like restart it at the beginning, which is not bad. Some people don't like restarting stuff, but it's always good. Because, you know, you can always restart. Clearly not. Okay. And then I think right here. Oh. Okay. All right, and so this is kind of like the magic circle way to start this pattern. Instead of doing the 18, the chain of 18, if you're comfortable doing the chains, go ahead and do the chains. I'm always kind of like experimenting halfway through, and I'm like, I think I like this way better, because I think I like doing chain of magic circle better than doing chains, because I can control the size of the original, of the center ring size, and so things get to be a little bit more taut if you have that control. So yeah, this is all right. Where's my beginning? I think it's here. And so I'm gonna stop it here, and then I'll continue the next video.